The new Valorant map Pearl is here, and I got early access and found cringe CYPHER one ways and setups for A and B side on both attack and defense for you. But yeah, let's stop the talking and get right into it. This first setup for A side allows you to lock down A main and A lane. Start up by walking against this pillar, then position your cameras and cages hotline around this light spot and for your first cage. Place your first tripwire on the A lane stairs and your second one like this for A main. Now make your way up to this wall and then proceed to jump on top of the little cafe. From here, throw your first cage like this, and now either place the camera behind you on the house, which is very hidden, or use this camera that provides better vision but will also be broken more often. Now you have a beautiful one way for anyone coming down from A link, and you can activate the cage above you to swing out and kill people running into your other tripwire. For some reason, Valorant allows CYPHER mains to blatantly stalk the enemy team across the entire map, so let's abuse this fact for this setup. Your first tripwire goes right there across default plant and then walk against this pillar on the wall. You will need your middle hotline for both cages, first line it up underneath the dark side of the wall and for your first cage. Now simply move it to this spot on the pillar to the left. Place your second trip right here to cover both ways people can come from mid. And now, as soon as the barrier drops, run up here and throw your cam into this window. Now you have a cam looking straight into their spawn, which will find all the opponents and maybe even your dad. Those two cages work as cover for you to spray through, and it's a one way against anyone getting too close to stairs. The first thing I noticed when playing the new map is that it's literally made out of paper, just like ASCENDANT. So let's get into this very cringe Wallbang setup. Your first trip goes across default and your second one like this, even though it might look weird for you at first, but just trust me on this one. Next up, jump on top of the wall and then on top of the cafe again to place your camera on the parasol. Throw one cage on the wall and now you're all set. You can use a Vandal or Phantom to wallbang those walls, but if you want to be really annoying and you want to really beam someone through those walls, use an Odin on Ares. While your camera gives you an overview over the entire site, your cage allows you to swing out or reposition if needed. If you really want to win attack on this map, you need to play for mid control basically every round, but you as a fellow CYPHER player can make this task close to impossible for your opponents. First, move to the right side of this box and position your middle hotline on the dark spot of the wall in front of you, then throw your first cage. Your tripwire goes right there, and then step back to throw your camera into this window. You will now get info about A main and mid close to you. As you can see, the setup only uses half of your util, and it should only be used if your teammates really are struggling hard to hold on mid by themselves. This next one way is a bit harder to line up, but it's so unexpected it's nearly guaranteed to deliver you some free kills. As soon as the round starts, sprint up against this door and position your left hotline next to the white dot on the arch and throw your cage with a jump and throw. Now your cage lands on a tiny ledge on the wall and it works as a one way for anyone peeking in front of you, while they have no vision of you at all. I would argue that CYPHER's strongest side on Pearl is A, but there still are some broken setups and one ways for you to use on B side. First, walk against this wall on tower and aim for the small building far away and throw your first cage. Your second cage goes right there in front of you. Now walk further out and place your camera on this building. It allows you to see B side and the people coming from mid, and it's very hard to break. Your first tripwire goes across this entrance to this box and you'd be surprised how many people actually walk into it. Your second tripwire is simply placed like that. You now simply want to position yourself in tower. While your first cage works as an awesome one way against anyone trying to get close to side, you can use your second one to reposition and spray people caught in your tripwires. I found another extremely overpowered one way you can play from multiple angles around side. Simply walk against this wall and position your left hotline under this brick of the wall. If you want to use this one way from backside, I recommend you walking up to B main as soon as the round starts in order to place a trip at this exact spot. This marks the place where the one way starts working properly, as you can see here. If you decide to use your one way when the attackers are still around here, they will be able to see you when they're crouched down, while as soon as they come to around here, all they will see is their head getting taken off by you. Another place for you to use your one way from is this angle on backside. The only major problem here is that B main is too wide for you to place tripwires across the railings. As you won't be able to place any trips there, make your way onto side and use tripwires like these to catch people who manage to push through your one way onto side. If you wanna play for B-link control, just toss your cage up there and combine it with a tripwire right here. Optionally, you can add the one way from the previous setup and then just position yourself backside and you have B-link on lockdown. Obviously only use the setup if none of your teammates are playing mid doors, otherwise it's just a big waste. I also went ahead and made up one ways for Postplant on attack that allow you to kill the diffuser without him being able to see you at all. Also, if you're interested in learning CYPHER on more maps, please subscribe, it's free and you can always change your mind. But let's get into some cringe attack one ways now. This first one way on A allows you to see the defenders pushing out of CT when retaking. Walk against this light and line up your middle hotline with the wall and corner in front of you and throw your cage.
Cage trigger.
After baiting your entire team onto side, you should be able to plant the spike right there and then make your way up the stairs into this corner. Line up your middle hotline under this dark tile on the wall and throw your cage. As soon as someone taps the spike, all you gotta do is trigger your cage and swing. You're gonna be able to see their feet while they can't see anything from inside the cage. On B side, you should try planting the spike in this corner, then looking straight up and throwing a cage. The cage will bounce and land in this window, and now you have a one-way for anyone trying to defuse the spike. As you can see from inside the cage, you can literally see nothing and you can buy so much time post-plan with that lineup. Alright, that was it for today's Cypher video. Thank you so much for watching, don't forget to subscribe and have a nice day.